Assalamu alaikum. My name is Tahir Naeem and we are studying Management Information System. So far we have covered 22 lecture and today is our lecture number 23. The title of our today lecture is ERP or Enterprise Resource Planning and E-Commerce. So in this lecture we will study the emergence of e-commerce in enterprise resource planning. The outline of our today lecture. First we will study ERP and e-commerce, then we will study ERP and CRM, then we will study change management, then we will study factor to consider, then we will study phases of change management, then we will study what can be done about resistance to change. We will study about change agents. Then we will study about the ownership and sponsorship. So let's start about ERP and e-commerce. Organizations do accept when we talk of e-commerce in real term, not just having a website for online information, but actually to be able to execute transaction there has to be an integrated software up and running, especially when consumerism is the prime focus. Being integrated in online will help in better implementation of CRM. Text and clips. So this is known as the business to business B2B and business to consumer. They have become buzzwords but they are very real. What most ERP are heading towards are integral internet portals. The front end becomes the internet portal and the other businesses and customer can come in through that. Gist of clips. Now consumer and businesses uses the gateway of internet to walk into the business and make transaction. So website with online buying option have become the virtual selling location for the business. ERP and CRM. Customer has become of critical importance in the modern day business. Early on, organization used to focus more on how much has been sold, what has been produced, but now the focus is quite different. Focus has been placed on the requirement of the customer, providing quality service and quickness of the response to customer queries. Analysis of the customer data from their personal habits to spending ones have become a crucial elements of doing a successful business. ERP has this unique potential to improve the quality of customer handling. Text and clips. One or larger customer who drive most of our businesses, they conduct budgeting activity for most of their product. For what they need semi-finished or raw material from us. These requirements are incorporated in our system even before the purchase order is received from the customer. So we know well ahead of time what the requirement of customer will be on periodic basis. This gives us time to plan what kind of raw material and production capacities we would require in a given period, keeping other orders in view. This makes us well equipped in our supply chain, the materials to be imported, but the delivery times being built into the system for reordering. Thus, inventory management become more efficient and production bottlenecks are preempted. But is coming back to the customer and starting from the sale forecast when we move on the purchase order, which is first converted by the system into the sales order. As soon as the process starts, the production planning department can have a look at it and plan the production order based on that information is available to sales people as well. So whatever process that job has gone through can be accessed by sales person whether the stock is available or not. So in this we are able with the integration of ERP and CRM, we are able to forecast the sale and we will be able to order the products according to the need of our customer. Customer is of supreme importance. Everything for the business and starts, revolves around and ends at the customer. The business process, the production, the inventory, after sales service all should be built and monitored in accordance with the requirement of customer. In modern day world, the ERP system helps us to achieve this objective, and the most optimized way eliminates time lags to substantial level. Change management. Change management means to plan, initialize, realize, control and finally stabilize change process on both corporate and personal level. The implementation of a ERP or any other integration software needs commitment and proper management. Management change in managing change is implementation project has become a serious concern for the management. So whenever we want to change the way of our doing business and integrate the software like ERP, we must properly handle the change from the previous method of doing the business, and it has become a serious implementation project. So types of change. Organizational development. This is more gradual and evolutionary approach to change. It bases on the assumption that it is possible to align corporate objectives with individual employee objectives. In practice, however, this will be rarely possible. So first of all is the organizational development. We have to change the behavior within the organization, how the businesses perform within the organization, so that in all the personnel are gradually align their attitude towards the organizational development as much as possible. Re-engineering. This is known as corporate transformation or business transformation. It is more radically from the change management since it challenges all the element of process or structure that has evolved over a time. So basically re-engineering means to re-engineer the whole process or system within the organization, and this is not an incremental approach but it's a transformational approach. Recruitment of specialized personnel is very important element. Skills of people should complement in a way to remove deficiencies of each other and become fruitful combinations. So we have to hire the people whose skills complement each other and be able to help each other in their weaknesses. Is change inevitable? A further classification of change can be seen as internal to organization, external to organization. Since implementation of ERP in an organization-wide activity both in terms of process and skill level required, it can be seen as an internal change. Of course, external development like market demand, accreditation of technology and other similar matter also necessitate changes. Change has to be planned, monitored and managed before we can get successful and fruitful result. Where management is decided to bring in change, it has to ask a certain question and consider issues emerging from the change. Factor to consider. Following factors should be considered in order for a change to be successful. How we get the right leadership and buy-in support from the proposed change. So first of all, we must have the leadership whose vision is aligned with the change and who are fully invested in the change, and every person the proposed change should be buy-in by the management. Is the proposed change aligned with the strategic plan? So we must consider that the changes we make to our businesses must meet our strategic plan for the organization. What current future issues concern will performance measurement management address? So what are the current or future concern which will affect the performance of the organization? What are the implications and barrier to successful implementation? And what are the roadblocks or any other hurdles to implement successfully the proposed plan? What are the inherent risk cost of not embracing change? So we should also mindful of all those costs if we don't change our way of doing business. Who should we target is a key driver for the new way we are going to do things around here. What process will we need to change or introduce on? How will the success be measured, and what value will success have for businesses and individual? So when we implement a new system, what will be the barometer of success for the whole of the organization and for the individual person? How do you change people behavior? Who will feel threatened by the change? There may be some people who will feel that they are threatened, their jobs are threatened, or their way of doing things are threatened by the new system. We have to talk to them and convince them that the system is to facilitate them and achieve objective of the organization. Phases of change management. Change management should not have seen as one of event, rather it is a process which is spread over a period of time and divided into various phases. Various management models define and segregate change management into various set of phases. However, the phases which we will address below shall give a general understanding of what happens in the change management process. The term and phases may vary according to management models. Shock and surprise. So basically the first is that how confrontation with the unexpected situation, mostly that how will we confront the situation which we have not faced before. So it must be properly tackled, the shock and surprise approach. These include the shock and surprise approach include by accident, like any loss of business unit, are planned. If we have planned for this our workshop for personal development or any training for the personnel. Denial and refusal. People express their conviction that change is not necessary. So there may be people, there will be people in the organization who deny the usefulness of the new software-based approach and refuse that the new system will help us achieve objectives of the organization. Rational understanding. People realize the need for change and find short-term solutions. So there may be people who understand the effectiveness of the new system, but they emphasize that first the short-term goals must be achieved. Emotional acceptance. If management succeeds in creating willingness for change, people change their belief and behavior. Otherwise, change process stops or slow down. So we have to make sure that this plan is emotionally accepted, because if people are unwilling for change or changing their belief and behavior, then the system will not function properly because of the people's not embracing it fully. Exercise and learning. People start to try new behavior and processes. As a result, will experience success and failure. Change managers should create easier tasks to start to create early wins. So basically, whenever people try to migrate towards a new system, they look at from their personal view that are they able to achieve the results easily or not. If they are failures, so they will not embrace the change. So the change manager should create jobs which are easily winnable. Realization. The knowledge gained in previous phase has feedback effect. So whenever the in the previous phase knowledge, it must be feedback must be taken from the employee to incorporate it into the integrated software. Integration. Last phase. Total link up is created between newly acquired patterns of thinking and acting. New behavior becomes routine. So whenever the integration is integration is completed, this is the last phase. So in this phase, total link up is created between the newly installed system and a pattern of thinking is developed within the organization and new behavior became a routine. Another view of phases. Change management phases can be classified in an alternative way. Unfreezing, preparing a situation for change by discomforting existing attitude and behavior. Changing, taking action to modify a situation by altering the targets of the change. Refreezing, maintaining and eventually institutionalizing the change. Why people resist change? There are various reasons why people are afraid of a change. The change may act as a favorable agent for many at the organization. However, it is merely the fear of unknown that most cases create hurdles. So whenever we want to adopt a system, people afraid of a changes. It is not afraid; it's psychological barrier that it may not be favorable. So it must be awareness must be created so that the fear of unknown is subsidized. Fear of unknown. Mostly the reaction is God know what is going to happening. Lack of good information. Involvement from lower level is not taken by management and they are not fully aware of the future happenings. Fear of loss of security. Mostly changes lead to downsizing, which is a term mostly organization uses is right sizing. So whenever we implement a new change, people fear that the organization may fire some people, which is in business term is called right sizing, and job will be lost is we move on to a new system. No reason to change. No reason sound convincing to people to accept a change. Fear of the loss of power. Mostly changes make organizational structure more horizontally flexible, resulting in delegation of authority and handing over powers to lower level. Lack of resources. If there may be some resources which the organization is lacking, that's why people don't want to migrate to new system. Bad timing. Employees sometimes are approached with the proposal of change when they are already feeling down. Habit. People with closed mind are not innovative to learn new things and this may prove to a major hurdle in bringing in change. What can be done about resistance to change? Education and communication can be performed. Change brings new thing for learning. The employee should be informed of these and given an opportunity to learn the enhanced awareness. Participation and involvement. In every step of bringing change, these affected should be involved and their concern and view should be given value. Facilitation and support. As mind start getting adjusting, those affecting should be facilitated and given time to properly assimilate the new emerging aspects. Negotiation and agreement. In case where resistance is high, the term of agreement may settle with a dialogue. Manipulation and cooperation. Twisting and distorting facts for the sake of seeking accepting is becoming a normal practice. If corporate management threatens to close down a particular management plan, if that plan implies fail to accept an across the board pay cut and the threat is actually untrue, management is using manipulation. Implicit and explicit coercion is a large resort. The application of direct threats or force upon register. Example of coercion are threat of transfer, loss of promotion, negative performance evaluation, and the non-letter of recommendation. Change agents. Successful changes and their management are backed by presence of change agents. A person or a team who leads the change project or business-wide initiative by defining, researching, planning, building business support and carefully selecting volunteer to be part of change team. Change agent must have conviction to state the fact based on data even if the consequences are associated with unpleasantries. Change agent consciously challenges status quo, is comfortable with leading change initiative with uncertain outcome and systematically consider new and better ways of doing things. ERP is such a large-scale project that sponsorship from senior management is an immediate must. Unless the project itself and the consequential changes sponsored from the senior level, the change of such success are quite. Ownership and sponsorship. Implementation need the right mix of people both from business and from the IT side. Those who think that it's pure computerization of organization which can be taken solely by the IT people are wrong. Nor it is a project to be handled solely by the business people. Hence, a balanced mixture of people from IT and business background is required for successful implementation. This is the reference from where I have prepared my lecture. Thank you. If you have any questions regarding today's lecture, feel free to email me. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.